Welcome to another edition of Coffee Talk Tuesday. My name is Shalise Stevens, and I'm here with Trip Mitchell, I was going to say lovely again. It's been a while since I've called you lovely, but it's because we were talking about how coordinated you are.
Yes, I can do anything. I stepped onto the ice on Monday at hockey practice and forgot to take my skate. They have a little thing that protects your skate. And I took one off and one not and fell flat on my ass.
Aww.
And it was, and the high school, the whole rink, there were only two of us on it, and the other kids kind of snickering at me, so I was pissed.
You were playing with the high school kids because you thought that you could
win? Well, I was actually better than this kid. He sucks,
okay.
But anyway, once you get 2 years from now, I will not be better. But anyway, we have a very lovely guest.
Yes, we do. Lindsay Joiner, she just became Miss Utah.
Yes, I did. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
So what did it cost you?
In terms of financially or like sacrificing my newborn or what?
Yeah, what's it take to be a beauty queen?
Well, lots of time. I think that's one thing I've come to learn. This is actually my first pageant ever, so this was completely new to me. But time, there was definitely a financial investment as well, but it kind of just depends on how much you're willing to put into it to get the wardrobe and the makeup and the coaching and all of that.
So. Fantastic. You should resign. You should go for one. So you have a perfect record in beauty pageants. This should be it.
You're right.
You win the pageant.
I've hit my peak. Yeah. Just drop out now.
Drop the mic, walk off stage, and say, that's it. I've conquered this industry. I'm off to something new.
Well, so tell us, running for Miss Utah during a pandemic, tell us about that. What is your journey for the whole thing?
Yeah, it was a really interesting experience, honestly, totally different than it would have been otherwise, I'm sure. But instead of doing anything in person, any onstage walks or anything like that, we had to do an essay and a resume and Zoom call interviews and headshots. And it was kind of like, I think, a month and a half long process of them narrowing down the group. And once I found out I was top 10, we did a final interview, and then after that, they picked the winner. So it was different, but it was a really cool way for it to be run, and I'm really happy they still found a way to do it despite everything that's going on.
So your boyfriend is here taking pictures. Is he Mr. Utah?
You know what? I don't think he is just yet. He needs to go get the wardrobe and everything, and then get the sash, and then we can roll out together and take photos and everything.
So
but that's you're Miss Utah.
Yes.
So
I'm not Mrs.
Right.
Utah.
See?
I got that technicality.
Right? It's okay.
Yeah. So in the beauty queen business, what are your responsibilities besides doing amazing talk shows, which you were at earlier and now you're here in ours?
Exactly. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, that one was much better. This one's kind of a step down, but it's okay. I won't tell the audience that.
Okay, no. Ixnay on that schnay.
There are a lot of things. Honestly, I feel like with having any type of crown or banner, it's what you make it, I guess. You kind of get to determine your own platform. So obviously doing really awesome events like this, media events, or going and talking in front of schools, or doing service, or running your platform, it's kind of whatever you want to do. But I think the thing I'm most excited for is being able to grow my platform and hopefully empower other women and inspire other girls across the state using my new crown and banner. So I'm really excited.
When you walk into a room, into a school, does it get immediate reaction? Kids think this is pretty cool?
I think they will. I can't tell you that yet because school just started. Okay. So hopefully that is the reaction I get, but we will see. I'm hoping for the best. I actually did wear this banner to Texas Roadhouse a couple nights ago because I finally got it and I was excited, and somebody asked me for a photo, and that was like the thrill of my entire life. So far so good. I'm loving it so far.
Did you get a discount at Texas Roadhouse?
I did not. That's the thing.
You know, we had Frank Layden, the old jazz coach, in yesterday, and he was saying that when he was teaching school, he had 3 jobs, and then high school coaching, and then college. He never had any money, and all of a sudden he's making $1 million a year at the Jazz. Mm-hmm. And he goes, then people offer to buy me lunch, dinner. Because when I really needed it, no one was there. So if you're out in public and someone sees that sash, should they pick up your dinner?
You know, as nice of a sentiment as that would be, that's quite all right. I can handle it myself. Although that would be a very nice gesture, I suppose.
I think it would be very nice. So, Shalise, have you done the beauty queen thing?
I actually have. I ran when I was in high school in my senior year. And
that was your best 2 years, wasn't it?
It really was. But then I became Mrs. Utah when I was, 21 years old. Mm-hmm. So I was actually one of the youngest that ran, but I had my baby and everything like that, and I was just doing it because I have to experience everything in life, and
Was it a fun process?
it was a fun process. Yeah, I didn't win either of them, but it didn't matter. I wasn't there to necessarily win.
Right.
I know, I'm weird. I just like to experience things.
So, did you finish second?
No, you know,
Third?
actually, okay. Here's the thing about pageants
So
that.
we'll figure this out. Go ahead.
Wait, yes. No, I didn't even. No, there wasn't anything that I ran or I made, because I actually was probably, and I say this with the most love and respect for pageant people. I absolutely love
We've got
them.
one here.
I know, and she actually probably is more like me. So I was actually the only one running that didn't have work done. Plastic surgery work.
What?
No, I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. Out of all, I think there was a dozen of us that were running for this particular pageant. They all went and had some kind of tummy tuck, facelift, Botox, something done, boob jobs. And I was the only one in that group that didn't have any work done.
So in weightlifting or bodybuilding, they have a natural class and then they have the steroid class.
Mm-hmm.
So you are Mrs. Utah. Now, what year was that?
It was, 2001.
So you were Mrs. Utah 2001 with no work done.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah,
should
I
put
was
that on-
21 and I didn't have any. But I also had a baby, and I'm not the Barbie girl either. So, but I didn't care. I was I was way skinnier than I am now.
So my beauty, I was asked to judge a Latin beauty pageant a number of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And the previous winner was sitting next to me. She was a judge. So there were 4 judges, and they had 30 girls. I've told this story on the air before, but they had 30 women, and we narrowed it down to 4. And it was funny because when the 4 people came out on stage, the judge sitting next to me goes, "God, I voted for all 4." And I looked at her and said, "You're one of 4 judges. You had some influence on that." But I felt like such a dirtbag being a beauty queen judge. It just, it sucks.
Yeah.
What
What made you decide to run?
So there are kind of a lot of different things. I think, so I'm actually not from Utah. I moved here when I was 12 years old. So
Where are
the
you from?
culture, so I was born in Alabama, but I grew up in Georgia and Florida, and then I moved here. So I had kind of a crazy upbringing living in a lot of different cultures. But ever since I moved to Utah, I had a bit of a difficult time fitting in when I first moved here. It was kind of hard for me to make friends, and I always saw the girls who served as Miss Utah or as kind of queens within the community as these incredible role models and kind of beacons of positivity. And that was something I was always interested in doing. But as time progressed, I struggled with a lot of self-confidence issues. I had body dysmorphic disorder when I was in high school and college. And
Well, I know what that is, but can you explain it to
yes,
Shalise?
yes, absolutely, of course. I'm sure. Shalise, just so you know.
Because I don't have anything like that.
Oh, of course not. As a woman, I'm sure you have no
Right.
idea what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and I'm just trying to help Shalise out here.
Of course.
That's the only reason I bring it up. But go ahead.
So body dysmorphic disorder is a mental disorder where you see your body in a different way than what it actually looks like. So you could be a perfect size 4, but you see yourself and you think that you're overweight and need to lose weight like crazy and go to the gym every day. And a lot of girls with body dysmorphic disorder develop anorexia or bulimia because they're so obsessed with getting this perfect body image that's completely unattainable because they don't see themselves realistically. So kind of a brief definition, but I had body dysmorphic disorder all throughout high school and college. As a cheerleader, as a dancer, it was extremely difficult for me to deal with that just because I was always, in the public eye. And I think just a lack of confidence really held me back from doing it. A lack of time. I didn't really have the money either. But I actually just graduated college back in May, and so I figured, now is as good a time as ever, and it
Now,
worked out.
do you acting as well?
I did. I actually was originally planning to go to college to be a professional actress, but I switched course a little bit. I'm glad that I did, but I was actually a professional Disney princess here in the state of Utah for some time. I would go around to parties as Princess Belle and Ariel, and it was a blast.
Have you been to? I've probably seen you at events at parties. Have you done a lot of charity work for that?
A little here and there whenever we got hired for it.
Yeah, Angel's Hands had some wonderful Disney characters out at their Christmas party every year.
That's awesome.
And these people are wonderful, and what a great way to give back.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's the best job I've ever had by far.
What did you graduate in? What's your?
I graduated with a degree in strategic communications.
So you actually, as opposed to being an actress, you want to get paid.
Yes, exactly. You understand my motive.
Yes.
I have that same motive, so I totally get it. And that's one thing that I love about you is that you are so, I mean, obviously you've studied communication for so long, but you are just an amazing speaker and everything like that. Oh, I love you, and I totally admire you for what you do.
Strategic communication.
Yes.
So that means
She will always win the fight with her boyfriend.
Okay.
Always. He's right there. You can ask him if you don't believe me.
Well, he works at a graveyard, so I mean, he kind of smelled a little bit coming in. Some of those chemicals, and it's just, I'm glad he's in the other room. But, hey, I'm not going to give you advice on who to date. Someone with maybe a little bit more optimistic job.
He works a graveyard shift.
Oh, well, you didn't put shift in there. I just
Not
heard,
a graveyard.
you just said graveyard.
Tripp's the smart one.
Oh, this whole time you thought it was an actual graveyard. I thought you were kidding. I was just rolling with it. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It is a graveyard shift.
What does he do?
He works at a mental health facility for underage girls in Provo, Utah.
Oh,
wow, that's really cool.
It's amazing. It's great work. Great work for sure.
Wow. Well, that's to be, what makes you feel good about the world. I was talking to our mutual friend, Adie, who I do her brothers, we do a TV show together, but she was out with her grandkids who are 16, 17, and 18, and they were talking about the problems with the world. And they were so optimistic, but they realized they got to work hard, they've got to do things to make changes, to make this country better, because we've kind of had a rough 4 years. But when you're around young people, you know that there's so much hope. There's really some cool stuff around the border.
Absolutely.
So getting back to strategic communication, so you'll work for a PR firm?
I'm actually not sure. My end goal is to hopefully be making enough owning my own business where I can live off of that. That's kind of the ultimate goal.
Yeah, girl.
But I would love to have a job as a director of marketing or social media marketing or just anything communications based that's very hands-on and deals directly with communicating with people. I think that's my strongest suit. So.
And Shalise is going to be great at that, and she is going to be graduating this fall. And what Shalise has got going is a coursework in Facebook. And any company out there who's owned by, let's say, an old white guy, which I know one. I see him when I shave every
like
morning.
this production studio.
Yes. We don't know jack about Facebook. And to hire a professional like Shalise to come in, because it's inexpensive marketing. It really, digital marketing relative to doing TV commercials and doing stuff like that makes a lot of sense. So someone like yourself who comes in with ideas and freshness, you can get a lot more accomplished for a business than just having a big ad agency do 30-second spots.
Right, absolutely.
And Shalise, with her ability on Facebook, is going to be amazing.
Well, and it's Facebook and Instagram and all the other things, too.
You said you were stalking me on Facebook.
I was stalking you on Facebook because I needed to see your engagement.
Clearly it's not.
Clearly it's not where it should be.
I post pretty much anti-Trump things and leave it at that.
I know, and that's why I'm like, well, and we just were talking the other day, I'm like, you never share our show. Like, I mean, that's some goodness in the world. Like, let's do a little more. And he's like, I share your show. So then that night, he's like, so I wanted to share the show with my dad. It was really cute.
No.
And guess what? We had 4 downloads that day.
Look what happens.
Shows.
So, yeah, well, we need to do something right now.
We will be right back after this short break.
In summer 2004, as a 4-year-old, Caleb's body emerged from an overcrowded water parks pool in Utah. Every mother's worst nightmare became reality for Shalise Stevens. Would healing ever begin? Without an answer, she experienced truths about deep loss and grief's throttle. By age 40, she awakened to joy and motherhood. Finding 40, available on Amazon and wherever digital copies are sold.
All right, welcome back to Coffee Talk Tuesday. My name's Shalise Stevens. I'm here with my co-host again and still, Trip Mitchell.
And I promised I'd do one thing today, didn't I?
He said that he was only going to talk for the first 45 seconds
I meant
of
minutes.
each minute.
Yeah, okay.
And our lovely guest, who I just absolutely adore, Lindsay Joiner, who is also the Miss Utah.
So what kind of firm are you going to own?
See?
Can we buy stock in you?
I will get back to you on that. I'm still kind of trying to work through how I'm going to take over the world, but once I come up with it, you will be the first person I call.
Okay.
I swear.
And what's my name?
Trip Mitchell.
Okay. Very. That. Do you ever forget a guest's name?
Only their last name.
Okay. It is the worst when you're doing a show, you're doing an interview, and all of a sudden you're going, oh, I don't know what their name is.
Well, most of them are my friends and my guests, so I haven't run into that yet.
Okay. Make sure you always remember who you're interviewing when you're doing
Yes.
it. Do you want to go work for a TV station? Would that be something you'd like to do?
I actually worked at a TV station as a weathercaster very
where?
briefly. When I was in college, I went to SUU for my freshman year, and I was originally studying to get my degree in journalism, and I took a hands-on TV studio class. So I was on SU TV 9 as the weathercaster, and it was a really fun
I
experience.
could totally
I've been
see
to
you
your-
as that.
Thank you. It was really fun, super cool.
I've been to your studio. It's a great studio.
It is. It's
Yeah,
lovely.
We were looking a couple years ago at doing the SUU football games, and unfortunately, it just didn't work out. We weren't going to be able to make any money on it. It would have been a lot of, being down there in Cedar City at 11 o'clock on a Saturday night going, I've got to be home,
Right.
that drive. But SUU is a great school.
It is.
And you're lucky to have gone there. Why don't you audition right now? Pretend Shalise is your person about to hire you for a station. Do an audition
Audition. What role am I auditioning for?
to come in and take over the world.
Take over the world?
Yeah,
Oh gosh. That's so much pressure.
I know,
Oh
but
my
go ahead.
gosh.
Shalise is very nice.
Okay. Hi, Shalise.
Hi, Lindsay.
My name is Lindsay Joiner, aka Miss Utah, and I can give you a guarantee. If you hire me for your station, I will 100% beyond a shadow of a doubt take over the world. None of these other candidates have even a shot. If you look at my references, my resume, my professional skills and abilities, you will see I am by far the best candidate to take over the world. I look forward to hearing from you.
That was really good.
God,
You actually are hired.
Okay,
I've
thank
been
you.
looking for someone to help me.
well, what is your title here? Vice President of...
Of marketing.
Marketing, yeah.
Vice President of taking over the world.
Okay.
Yes. All right.
You were very poised.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I honestly attribute that to DECA, which is actually how I met Shalise. So
DECA is?
Yes. So, DECA is the business club, I guess you would say, that for colleges and high schools. And Lindsay actually was not just, we didn't just meet in DECA. She was actually the president of the, was it the community or?
So I was president of University of Utah DECA, president of Utah Collegiate DECA, and vice president of the International Collegiate DECA Association. So that was
You're
last
not
year.
joking about taking over the world.
I'm not. No, that was like the step in that direction. That's what really inspired me.
Who's your agent?
You know what? He's sitting right over there.
Oh, so you don't have a agent for acting or anything?
He's my agent.
Really?
No, I'm just joking with you. I actually have never had an agent. I am my own agent, I suppose. I never did enough professional acting to need an agent, I guess. So
I'll hook you up with my agent because she has totally wasted her time with me.
that's good to know.
Amber Evans, she stars. You should have an agent because there are a lot of things that you could do. That.
I would love that. That would
Yeah.
be amazing. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and she would grab you in a second. So I am the world's worst actor. I've auditioned for many things and never gotten picked for anything when it comes to acting, including things that I've done for a living. So we did an Evander Holyfield heavyweight fight on pay-per-view. And the HBO guy goes, hey, did a great job on that. We need you to come play a boxing play-by-play announcer, which I do for a living, in a movie we're doing. And so I auditioned and finished last. And I was the only one there who actually does what the role was supposed to be. So that would be an indicator that maybe acting, not my thing.
I wouldn't. You seem like you have such a great personality, though. You're so lively and personable. That's perfect for acting.
But acting is, you got to, and it's funny because Amber sends me out for, I won't go out anymore, but for all the Yellowstone, if there's a deranged killer, I used to go out for that. And, it's good money. It's $1,000 a day, which ain't bad.
No, not at all.
And they feed you. But on the other hand, you kind of have to act.
Yes.
You have to be good at it.
Yes.
So your ex-husband not only is a great actor, but he's also an acting coach. And you've had representation. And
Yeah.
Are you good at remembering your lines?
Yeah. I mean, because you make it so it becomes the conversation that you're having. So that's the whole memory piece of it. But my favorite thing, though, in acting is the improv stuff that you were just doing. And that actually was what made me better in DECA.
Yes.
Was because I had so much acting and improv training that I can just...
But you jumped into that without any... I just threw something out that 99.9% of 23-year-olds on the planet couldn't do, and you just did it.
Oh, that's very kind of you. Thank you.
No,
I gave
I
it
mean,
my
that-
all.
Well, but tell our audience and everything, what did DECA teach you
The ones we have left.
after this conversation with you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to the two people watching right now, let me let you in on some great insight into DECA. So as Shalise was saying, DECA is a competitive business organization for high school and college students. I've been a member of DECA for 7 years. I am an alumni member now. And it really gives you the skills that are integral to success in life, no matter what you plan to pursue. If you're going to be a dancer, an actress, a pediatrician, a businesswoman, it does not matter. The skills that you gain within DECA, having those face-to-face conversations with judges, presenting your plan to judges that maybe you came up with, a half hour ago and selling it like it's the best thing in the world, those are the skills that you need to build the confidence for success in life, no matter what you do. Even if you end up being a stay-at-home mom, those skills are so, imperative, and they've helped me, tremendously. I didn't want to go into business at all, but after my first year of DECA, I knew that's what I want to do.
So you got out of being an actress, a theater major, which is a big deal at SUU because they have an amazing theater department. Mm-hmm. But you knew that. Actually, to clarify, I was thinking of going to the American Dramatic Arts Academy in California before I graduated. But when I graduated, I decided I wanted to pursue journalism, which is actually why I went to SUU. But I kind of changed course a little bit. So acting is always going to be, a very special thing to me. And it's something that I love and I hope to continue to do. But as a career, I think as a businesswoman, that's kind of where I shine.
Well, and you can always get into acting later in life when you're in your 80s or 90s. Not as much competition because they've all died off.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the strategy.
Yes.
And I've always loved acting, but I think things like this, things like this and getting up on stage and doing public speaking and those kinds of things, because I get to be me and tell my story and interview awesome people and get their stories and just it's the same world,
right?
But it's a different. There's still competition. There's still all of that stuff.
But when you get to be all, and I hate to say something nice to you, because how many shows have we done?
I think we're almost at 30 now.
30. So this will be it. If anyone betting at home, but this is where you shine, is an interview format when you can be relaxed and have fun. Yeah. That's where you're really good at.
Well, you've never seen me act.
Well, the theaters aren't open. When's your next movie?
Well, you can find me on IMDb.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
But, I like to just do things for fun. I actually was going to mention this when we were speaking with Terry last week. He was talking about Slam Dance because he's been up interviewing people. And when Slam Dance first opened way long ago, we did they have a 48-hour film challenge where you have to make a film in 48 hours, write it, put it together, direct it, whatever. I was in it and actually was with my ex-husband, Dave, and we did it and we won first place at Slam Dance.
Oh my gosh.
So those contests are really cool, and I've known people who've done it, and it's just amazing. It's a 48-hour sprint, and the editor literally turns it in at the last second. But those are really cool.
I've done a couple of those, and then I've done a couple other things where I got to play a nurse once in a horror movie. That was fun.
Fancy. That's cool.
Did you get dismembered?
No, I stayed alive.
Okay, that's
good to know. Glad you're with us today.
And I was actually 5 months pregnant at the time, so I was super nervous because, the little nurse's outfits. That's a horror movie. And I was like, oh my gosh, but you couldn't even tell. I was so happy.
That's great. That's awesome. Good for
Was
you.
that because the director of photography had everything out of focus?
Maybe it doesn't even matter.
Yeah. So I'm just so impressed you're on IMDb.
Well, I mean, we've only known each other since January.
Okay. She was a guest on one of our shows, and we go, Shalise has whatever it is. I don't know what that is, but she's got it.
She does.
What's your next thing? So now, obviously, with schools questionable, are you going to be doing probably less appearances than a normal Miss Utah would do, or are you concerned about that?
I am a little bit concerned about it. I'm going to try to do my best to make the most out of my platform as I possibly can, but obviously I don't want to endanger any children or anybody else throughout this whole crazy coronavirus time. So
what is your platform?
My platform is called Be Stigma Free. It's dedicated to taking down the stigmas surrounding mental illnesses within the United States.
Cool. Very cool.
Yeah, thank you. I'm feeling really good about it.
How do people get in touch with you? We'll put that on the screen.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
People can get in touch with me. Well, they can email me. I can attach my email down in the YouTube bio, I suppose. It's lindsaysjoiner@gmail.com. Feel free to reach out to me anytime. LinkedIn is a great way to connect if it's professionally, or you can always follow me on Instagram at Lindsay Shannon Joiner.
Yeah, you are
connected.
Of all of our guests, I always say this each week. It's a great show. You are easily the best guest we've ever had this week. You are really...
What an honor. Thank you so much. I'm glad I beat all of the other ghosts that are here, so thank you.
But you have an amazing future ahead of you.
Thank you so much.
You're beautiful. You think on your feet. You've got a ton of skills, and I think you're going to have a very bright future.
Thank you so much.
And now that I know that Roscoe over there doesn't work at a graveyard, but actually is taking care of people, that shows a lot.
Absolutely. He's incredible. Yes, but thank you. That means so much to me.
Well, Lindsay, thank you so much. I am honored that this is actually her first public appearance as Miss Utah. So I am super honored. And Trip, guess what? It's time to go. I know.
I'm just about to go do a national boxing show now.
Ooh, exciting.
Okay. And I'm going to go post about it.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, guys. See you next week.
See ya.
Cheers.